Well, that was an interesting day, wasn't it? Hey guys, I'm Pepper. Thank you for being here. This is Godly Trading, and I wanted to talk today about a little bit about what happened yesterday and how we can handle that as traders. If you don't fully know what I'm talking about, let me show you this from yesterday. So this is the where am I at? I'm down way down here. Hi. This is a chart of yesterday on the S&P. Now, yesterday morning, at the very top of that candle, you can see a little tiny wick. That was things were moving along nicely. It had been kind of a sideways week. And I know, by the way, you're probably some of you are in here thinking, hang on, this guy's the one who talks about how to trade with the Bible and whatnot. Why is he talking about a specific trade? Well, we're going to get there. So for the most part, the last 2 weeks, the market in general, but both the markets that I trade, which is Forex, and the U.S. markets, had been pretty much moving along sideways. Even when the interest rate announcement happened. I happen to be in a Euro US trade. I'm a Forex trader, like I mentioned. Normally, I never ever hold a trade through a big announcement like that if it's going to affect one of those currencies. Like I don't hold the Japanese yen trade if the Bank of Japan is doing a thing, or the British pound trade if the Bank of England. But a buddy of mine had said, "Hey, dude, stop it. You're just trading scared. Just ignore the news." So I said, "Oh, you know what? I got 3 or 4 trades. I'm going to shut those down. I'm going to leave one. I'm going to leave one trade on the Euro US. I'm going to watch it like a hawk." I don't normally do that because normally, I'm a swing trader. And by the way, hi, thank you all for being here. If you have any comments, drop them in the section there. So I don't normally watch trades like that minute by minute. But, I said, I need to know whether this particular thing, the announcement, is going to have the effect that I think it's going to have, or whether my buddy's right. Now, didn't have any sting on the line other than pride there. Anyhow, the most important thing you can never do in a trade as a trader is collect data, collect information. I needed information, so I watched it. And so 1 o'clock rolls around, 1 o'clock my time. I'm in Central Time Zone. 1 o'clock rolls around, and the interest rate announcement comes out. Everything happens like normal, right? The Fed was expected to cut interest rates 0.5% or 0.25%. And they did. And things moved a little bit. And I was on a Telegram chat with some people that I trade with. And I was like, you know what? Okay, it's not over yet. We got to wait for Powell to get up and start talking. So I go up and I go, I'm going to washing dishes and whatnot for my lunch. So this is like 1:30 my time. I come back and Powell's been speaking for 5 minutes. And you see what happened. I kid you not. The Euro US trade. But let me show you that. I was in Euro US. Where's the button? There it is right there. I was in this trade. My face is in the way. Hang on. Let me get rid of my face. That makes the entire broadcast better, doesn't it? My face, I was in this yesterday morning. That candle was actually slightly blue, right? I'm in this short. So I'm wanting it to go down, and it's actually up a little bit for the day. So that tells you how much in an hour's time. I'm trying to be emphatic over here, and you can't even see me. In an hour's time, this happened. One man got up, and the entire world fell apart. And what I wanted to talk to you today, look, for me, it was fantastic. I hit my first take profit, my second take profit, and I went ahead and I'm done for the month. There's a lot of reasons for that I won't go into, but I'm basically done for the month. But it hit me as I was talking to my friend later on who was on the other side of some of these trades. Let me go back to the S&P, right? There are lots and lots of people who can't go short. Now, I love shorting. There's an old expression that the stock market takes the stairs up and the elevator down. Well, this was like the stairs up and then some sort of black hole portal teleportation down. I kid you not. This happened in an hour. And it dawned on me, there are lots of people, including me, who have their retirement funds such that they can't go short, right? Now, if you're like me, your retirement funds, your employer keeps them in a black hole behind the Fortress of Solitude in a lead-lined room and all that. You have no idea what's going on. There's lots of people who can only go long, and 3%, roughly speaking, is what happened yesterday. And so while there are people like me out there say, hey, it was a fantastic day. I was over the moon. I mean, it was my best trading day. It was just a fun trading day. But I was probably in the minority of people who had a fun trading day yesterday. I went to talk in our afternoon trading group, and I was, hang on, I'm going to unpack my dictionary here. I was ebullient. yesterday. And I could just tell by the body language of some of the others that they had a bad day. And this goes back to one of the most difficult things to overcome in trading is pride and fear. Greed and fear and greed. Pride is in the middle of that. And you can all too often, I mean, if I was me trading 5 years ago, folks, I would be talking about this trade for the next 5 years. This would be the only thing every topic of conversation. Hey, did you get that new recipe for carrot cake? Yeah, let me tell you about that trade that I have, right? Every topic of conversation would turn around to this. But I call this winners and losers because in the financial markets, in the stock market, in the Forex market, there's somebody on the other side of every single trade. And I was on the other side of a lot of people's trades who lost money yesterday. And it's a sobering thought. So how do you handle a day like today? Well, let me bring you, and I realize I'm going to lose probably 3/4 of you right now, which is fine. Let me bring you to a Bible verse that might help. Watch this number go down as I do this. All right. Ecclesiastes says to everything there's a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Now, there's probably 3/4 of you that's like, hang on. No. That's a song from the Byrds from the 60s. Birds with a Y, by the way. Well, they may have stolen that from Solomon. The point being, some of us are going to have a fantastic day like this. Some of us are going to have a terrible day like this. But if you trade long enough, you're going to have both. And what you have to do is learn to pull down the highs and raise up the lows. What do I mean by that? One of my buddy who has been getting me into these income generating ETFs. And one of the criteria that makes a good ETF, exchange traded fund, is is it better than the S&P on the way up and on the way down, right? So you want to not necessarily have the higher highs, the highest highs, but definitely want to keep them away from the lowest lows. And emotionally speaking, look, our emotions can wreck us as traders. I say can. Our emotions are what wreck us as traders. And 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a day like this, the other side of it this would have bled over into every other area of my life. Remember the expression, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I would have, if I was on the negative side of this trade, I would have gone home and my wife, my kids, my dog, my brother 4 states away would have been able to see the discouragement, the anger, all of that just radiating off of me like some cartoon character. And conversely, sadly, that's not even as bad as if 2 years ago I had been on the winning side of this trade like I was. You would have seen, I wouldn't have been able to walk in the door with the ego that I would have had. It would have rivaled the brilliance of the sun, how much I would have been saying, hey guys, look at me. All of that to say, I keep making the analogy. This is just juggling, right? Anyone can juggle. Anyone can trade. And for every day, to everything, there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. This is going to happen every once in a while to all of us, both for good and for bad. And the only thing we can do is to make ourselves better traders is to learn to look at this and say, okay, it is honestly just another day of trading. Now, having said that, absolutely, you should approach each trade as if you could lose like this. I keep pointing over here. I really should point that way. You know what I'm trying to do. I should point that way. You should approach each trade as if this is going to happen. Make sure you're trading with proper risk management, proper trade management. Remember, a stop loss is not there to protect your trade. It's there to protect your account. So I hope that for all of you out there, you had something. If you were on the wrong side of this is the Euro US. Let me go back to the S&P. If you were on the wrong side of this trade, I hope that you had some sort of protective stop in place. Now, on a day like this, it can run so fast that it takes a while for your stop to trade. I had another trade. This is what kills you. I had an open trade on the Kiwi Swiss. You're thinking, what in the world is that? The New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc. It dropped because Powell opened his mouth. Now, why in the world would New Zealand and Switzerland care minute by minute what Jerome Powell says? I don't know. I just know that they do. All that to say, price actually dropped 10 pips for you stock traders. Consider it 10 points past my first take profit level and didn't trigger. Things were moving that fast, and things just you couldn't keep up. So it's absolutely imperative that if you are on the negative side of this trade, you take this opportunity to say, what do I need to do now to prepare for next time this happens? This was a 3% move. I mean, this could happen anytime. Now, granted, this is the largest one of these on the chart. What do I need to do now so that next time this happens, I don't get hurt as badly? Make plans. Yesterday we talked about, I forget the topic of yesterday, but one of the verses was know the state of your flocks. Everyone have a plan in place. Know where things are going. I mean, if you're a swing trader like me, I wasn't due to actually look at my charts for 3 more hours. I look at my charts at 3:30 Central Time every afternoon. I would have opened up and gone, wow, that was an interesting day. But if you're a day trader, oh my goodness. If you're trading the 5-minute chart, the 1-minute chart, if you're trading a tick chart, reach out to me. We'll pray for you. But anyway, two takeaways from this. Make a plan to prepare for yourself trade-wise, trade management, risk management. More importantly, make a plan to prepare yourself emotionally. Because let me just tell you, 5 years ago me, 3 years ago me, 2 years ago me, who knows, would have immediately said, I need to make this money back from this market in this one thing because it owes me money. It's called revenge trading. And they say that revenge is a dish best served cold. I have no idea why they would say that. Back then, when I lost money in the market, I wasn't letting that dish cool off. I wanted to make that money back right now. I would have gone back to the same thing. Probably. Anyway, all that to say, make a plan for the future. How am I going to handle this from a trade standpoint? But more importantly, how am I going to handle this mentally? To everything there's a season. Solomon knew what he was talking about. He had a long life of ups and downs. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, if you need support, that's one of the areas in which you can plan for the future is to have support around you. Let me throw up this here while I'm still talking. If I can find it, where's the brand? I don't have my reading glasses on currently. If you need a support group, go to that facebook.com link. Godly Trade. Just search for us on Facebook. We have an open, free community for anyone out there who wants to trade, who wants support. Where's my face at? Who needs people to help them, who needs people to come around and say, look, I've been there before. It's the most important thing about a trading community is that you can go there and you can scream and howl at the moon. And there's people out there who have said, you know what? I have been there. That happened to me last week. That happened to me last year. I've been there 20 times in my life. And it's just such a calming influence in your life when you've got people that say, look, just take a breath. Let me walk you through this. We are there. We are here to walk side by side with one another through journeys like that. So if you need anything, if you would like to be a member of a community, we have it absolutely open, free to anybody trading community. Join us there on Facebook. And with that, guys, thank you for being here. I will see you all tomorrow.